guys, so for this week we've been talking about historical fiction picture books, and I decided to do Players in Pigtails by Shana and illustrated by Rebecca Gibbon. So this historical fiction book would be in the fiction based on research category, because in the author's purpose or author's note, she noted that she came up with this idea through research. So she looked up about the different players in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, and she really wanted to tell the story to other children. So she wrote this book based on the real professional baseball player named Katie Casey. So that's Katie Casey. So that's who the book is about. That's the character's name. And the book, let's see, whose view of history is being presented in the book. So women's viewpoint is being shown in this book because it's during World War II in the 1940s, and I can tell because of the way the women are dressed, and also there are little posters on the pages of different war advocate posters, and saying like women need to be knitting to help with the soldiers at war and things like that. So that's how I can tell what time frame this is in. And it brings up gender roles and identity during that time. So it's saying that Katie is saying in the book that she isn't like the typical girl. She's not good at being a girl like the rest of the girls around her. So she's saying she's not good at knitting, she's not good at cleaning, she's not good at cooking, things like that, but she's really good at baseball. So it makes it seem like women during that time were really good at those things. So the book does a really good job of presenting that. And then it also does a good job of challenging the social issue of gender identity and roles. So women were not seen as sports players, baseball players to be exact. That was a male sport back then. So Katie Casey is one of the first female baseball players in the All-American Girls Professional League. So it does a really good job of introducing that historical character. And let's see, whose view is privileged in telling of the story. So definitely the women during that time, it doesn't have any male perspective or any male opinion in the book. So I think when you look at what's being left out of the story, it is leaving out that aspect of why maybe men thought that women shouldn't be playing basketball and women should be doing the things that were listed in the book. So maybe that's one thing that was left out, but that comes with, as we know, as we've learned, historical books, it only tells one side or one story and not a whole story. So that is one thing that I noticed with the book. And then it also brought up how Take Me Out to the Ball Game was inspired by a female baseball player, which a lot of people don't know. And it was actually inspired by Katie Casey. So it really tied in with the book. It actually introduced the book with that on the first few pages. So yes, this book was really interesting and fun to read about and look up and categorize and talk about. Thanks.